scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop.
Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. I wanted to jump on here and kind of talk about oops, let me remove that. What am I doing? And talk about the Porsha Williams situation. Now, originally, I told you all that the home is gonna be in foreclosure. Now, I told y'all that based on information that I know. Somebody told me that. Like I said, I didn't even think about it. But then once the person told me, I said, okay, that makes sense. I told y'all Simon is not paying for the property. And one thing I've learned about YouTube, and this is coming from me, somebody who's used to working a job, who's worked at corporate places, a whole bunch of places, who've created businesses and done a whole bunch of different things. When I came to YouTube, I thought like YouTubers and stuff were friendly, but they're not. They're extremely weird. I see a lot of toxicity between the YouTubers, and it was really weird. I'm saying that to say this. Sometimes you'll do a video and apparently they watch it and they'll immediately go do a video to contradict what you say. I don't do videos like that. And I'll just like, if I'm doing a video, I'll just talk about what I'm talking about. I don't care about addressing somebody else and say, oh, what somebody said in their video is incorrect, because it's really not my business. But I notice here they do a lot of that. And I just pay it no mind because, like I said, I come from, a little bit of different stuff. I've worked and I know how to build relationships, but I also know how to stay away from toxic ass people because I just don't like ignorant people, ignorant things at all. So I did a video and I told y'all that the bills wasn't being paid. And somebody did a video saying that pretty much that the bills was being paid and that Simon has all of this money. Again, I don't have to make up lies or make up stuff at all. I just don't. I mean, I really have better things to do. So when I told you that, it was because it was factual information. Okay. The Nigerians told me, and I was like, oh, shoot. They told me. So that's how I knew. But another reason why I brought it up, because Porsha is in a lot of trouble. This is not good for her. But then if you actually, think about the entire situation now, I don't think you're supposed to just be marrying somebody that's broke, but I don't believe that you should be marrying people for money. I feel like when you get to a certain age in life, of course you're concerned about finances, but she too old to be looking for somebody to take care of her wore out PUSSY. And I'm just gonna say it like it is. And for all of the hoes who like to watch my videos, can y'all stop watching them because I don't like y'all? Okay. I noticed that the hoes get so upset. Stop using your raggedy PUSSY to get money from dudes, because just from my experience, they really just like you when you just your ordinary regular self. But when you try to say, you want to give, because they're buying you stuff, stop it. It's horrible and you need to stop doing it. I feel like if you're going to do that, just become a real hoe, like be a dancer or something. Stop trying to be a wife/hoe because they don't go together. Okay, so we're going to get into this document. If you guys recall, Porsha filed for divorce in February 2024. I promise I thought it was 2023 because this divorce seems like it has been going on forever. Y'all got to turn on the light. So give me a second because I feel like I'm in the dark. Okay. So this divorce seems like it's been going on forever. But in fact, she filed in 2024. But guess what, y'all? June 11th, they're having the final hearing because they like, look, we need to get this off of our books here. We need to move forward towards some kind of resolution, and this damn divorce needs to be over. So they want to wrap this up. And in fact, they've said that they're going to bring Simon from ICE, which is very interesting because if you guys remember, Simon was the one that wanted them to appear in person, right? So now they're going to bring Simon to the court hearing. But guess who don't want to appear and never wanted to appear in person? Porsha Williams, you got it right. So Porsha Williams, now this is her great opportunity to say, I want to appear by Zoom because she does not want to appear in person. But what I want y'all to understand is this is the final. And I'm going to scroll down to it just to make sure I'm reading it correctly. But I believe this is the final. Let me make sure. Yes, the final hearing. So they're like, look, we're done with this. We need to come up with a resolve, which means Porsha got to get the hell out of that house. And this is what I was saying all along. It's a temporary solution. Yes, you can stay in the house now, but you have to move. So I want to get into it, y'all, because I'm gonna put this up there, but I will put um my watermark on there because another thing I learned with YouTube is they'll take your stuff and use it and won't. And I don't even care about people mentioning, but they really act like they don't know who you are, which is irritating and be using your stuff, which is okay too. But damn, at least say, I got this from somebody channel. I don't remember the name, but to use something and then just don't say shit is really irritating. So I'm gonna put this on there, and it's big. So let me just do something else. All right, so I'm gonna put that there, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna read it. So what Porsha did is she filed a she filed a motion because, like I said, she wants to appear by Zoom. I wouldn't care if I had to go in person when you're talking about something so serious. So that kind of goes into, girl, you are right there by the courthouse. Why you can't go to court? She just doesn't want to face him, which is crazy because what difference does it make? But listen to what this document states. It's on the screen, but I'm gonna wait a minute, y'all. I'm already okay. Let me go to okay. So this is page 1. So let's get into it. I'm gonna read it from my phone because it's easier. So it says the petitioner, Porsha Diane Williams, by and through her attorney, Randall Kessner. Oh boy, this is jumping all over. And it lists, her attorneys, LLC or whatever. Now they filed this motion to allow Porsha to appear via video conference. Let this dog in. This dog. Girl, listen, don't leave again, girl, because you're getting on my nerves. Okay. Sorry about that. So her attorney files a motion because Porsha wants to appear via video conference. But we're gonna finish because once I'm done with this, y'all gonna see all the lies and all of the mess. Okay. So basically, what they're saying is there was a hearing scheduled for, it is scheduled for June 11th, and it's in person. It's in person because Simon requested that it be in person. If y'all remember, Porsha was very upset because she like, what do we got to appear in person? And then suddenly, what happened? Simon got his ass locked up. Okay, so he got locked up. Now I'm not making a joke about it, but I'm just simply saying that it kind of seemed like Porsha was very upset that she had to appear in person and he got locked up. That's just what happened. So the parties were scheduled or is scheduled for an in-person hearing, right, to enforce the prenuptial agreement, and this is on June 11th. Now, this was previously set for February 26, 2025, and also on April 30th, and continued as a result of the husband's emergency motion for the continuance. Now, this was filed on April 25th. Remember, he was locked up, so you can't just make a judgment on his assets when you guys can actually find a way to get him there, right? So that's what they're doing. Okay. Now, wife respectfully requests that the court enter an order allowing both herself and her expert witness to appear via Zoom. Okay. Yeah, so she doesn't want to come to court. Let me go to page 2. Now, trial courts in civil matters have discretion to permit parties and witnesses to appear to testify remotely via video conference seen in an virtual event conducted by video or any in-person proceeding. So they're just saying, hey, the court, you can do this. Let us, you have the means to do this. So they cite different cases, with regards to how this happened, or the law in which the court can allow this. And I'm just going to skip that. Now, wife's expert witness Edward Bates Jr. resides in North Carolina. I'm sorry. As such, his professional obligation and geographic distance make in-person testimony impractical. So they like, look, it's impractical for us to come in person, but keep in mind the judge previously ordered that, listen, this gonna be in person, but now they're saying no, we don't want it to be in person. Okay, so they're saying because of Porsha's expert witness in his physical residence being in North Carolina, this would impose undue logistic, I can't even talk, logist I can't get that word out. So they're just basically saying he would incur financial burdens on both the expert and Porsha if he had to come here. Okay. And it says it would just increase her cost of litigation unnecessarily. Now, Mr. Bates is not a party to this action other than he's just the expert witness, and his physical presence is not necessary and would not cause any prejudice to the husband. So they're like, look, he don't really need to be there. Everything that he's saying, he can say via the conference, Zoom or whatever. That's what they're pretty much saying. And they're saying by him not being there and testifying on Zoom would not hurt Simon's case. To the contrary, precluding his virtual participation would prejudice wife and result in manifest injustice given the expert's specialized knowledge and materiality of his testimony as it relates to the enforceability of the prenup. So basically saying, hey, this is not going to cause any problems. Wife shows that Mr. Bates' testimony pertains to the enforceability of the parties' prenuptial agreement and can be effectively presented and cross-examined via the video conference, right? Without prejudice to the husband. So they're just citing these different laws to say, hey, the expert witness that she has is not going to cause any problems, okay? Now, this is where it gets really weird, and we don't know if this is a lie or the truth, but I'm just going to read it to y'all as it states. In addition to her expert's appearance, wife respectfully seeks leave to appear virtually. So Porsha like, well, it's not just for him. I don't want to come either. Due to a time-sensitive international employment opportunity that will require the wife to leave the country in the next 2 to 3 weeks for an extended period of time that would encompass the June 11th, 2025 hearing. So Porsha is saying she has a job and she needs to be out of the country. We don't know if this is a lie or the truth, because I thought she was a glorified influencer. You can pretty much take pictures anywhere. So I don't know. I honestly, I don't believe it, but this is what it says. Listen to this. Wife is a well-known reality television personality, a career in which last-minute travel and unexpected opportunities frequently arise. Wife shows that this employment opportunity would help wife offset the numerous financial obligations that husband has failed to maintain under the temporary order, as well as offset the significant legal expenses wife has already incurred in pursuing enforcement of the parties' prenuptial agreement and defending herself against husband as it relates to this instant divorce. Now, do I need to read that again? Because wasn't some person or somebody or some people, I don't know, saying that Simon was making the payments? Well, if Simon were making the payments, then why does this say, let me read it again? Let me just read it again. It says, to help wife offset the numerous financial obligations that the husband has failed to maintain under the temporary order. Simon is not paying for anything. Now, I mean, could you blame him? I wouldn't pay either. And with regards to his credit, credit can be fixed. I mean, who cares about credit when you're in jail and don't even know if you're going to be able to get out? Like, who cares about that? So Simon is not making the payments. It's right here in the documents. Let me take it off of y'all to look. See, it's there. I just got to put this on there. I'm going to put this one on there. But he's not making the payments. They're like, look, let her travel. At least she can get another job and help make some of these payments that he ain't making. Okay? Now, it says, wife further shows that aside from from the direct financial implications, such as an offer, this also has the potential to jeopardize the long-term visibility and marketability of her brand and professional appeal. Y'all heard that. So Simon is not making the payments. He's not making the payments. And Porsha is in trouble, okay? Because, like I told y'all before, this is the state of Georgia. They don't need to take you to court to start the foreclosure proceedings. Hence, reason why you see Porsha working it, honey, because she know that she about to be on the streets. And also too, you're going to see her in this upcoming season looking for a house that she can't afford. She can't afford that. What, $3-4 million house? Girl, just get something you can afford. You're a well-known reality star, but you're not that well-known. That's why that's not in your price range, boo. The court has granted, now listen to this. The court has granted accommodations to the husband based on his detention by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, and expressly acknowledged its willfulness to convert the proceedings to a remote hearing should husband remain unable to appear in person. So they're like, look, this is Porsha's attorney. Like, look, this court has made a lot of modifications and justifications for Simon. Porsha is asking, this dog gets on my nerves, so now she want to leave. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. Get out. Get out. Don't come back. I'm sorry, y'all. So basically, Porsha's lawyer is like, look, y'all actually said that you would make this hearing via Zoom to accommodate Simon. Well, here's the deal. He's in jail. Now, I'm not saying this. They're saying he's in jail and pending deportation proceedings. Now, if you can make these, modifications for him and he's not paying the order that's set in place, surely you can make these same justifications for Porsha. Wife now seeks the same reasonable accommodation that the court has contemplated for the husband. Hello, they like, look, Porsha doesn't want to come in person. And in fact, she can't because she needs to work to pay the bills that Simon ain't being paid. He ain't been paid, okay? He didn't pay it, okay? I ain't mad at him because I wouldn't either. Okay, it says, Her request is grounded in legitimate professional obligations and made in good faith, with no intent to delay or hinder the resolution of this matter. Now, allowing the wife to appear virtually would not impair the integrity or efficiency of this hearing, nor would it prejudice husband in any way. Basically, like, look, us changing how this hearing is going to be conducted, it's not going to hurt the husband in any way. Neither wife is not going to hurt either party, nor will it hurt the expert's virtual participation. Or would it cause any prejudice to Simon? This is what it says. Husband would retain the full opportunity to cross-examine both witnesses, and the proceedings can be conducted effectively and securely using established electronic methods. Moreover, should the court require it, counsel for the wife remains fully prepared to appear in person. Wait a minute. Now they're saying, should the court require she appear in person, wife remains fully prepared to appear in person. But I thought she had this big opportunity out of the country. Okay. All right. So, with only wife and her expert testifying remotely, in the event the ICE Detention Center is able to comply with the court's order for production and facilitates husband physical appearance. So they're like, look, y'all keep telling us to come in person, and y'all don't even know if this man is going to show up, is what they're saying. Do y'all think Porsha got another job? Y'all think she got another gig doing something else? I just think this is fluff. Wife respectfully requests that the court grant her motion to allow to appear via the video conference and permit both herself and her expert witness, Edward Jr., to appear remotely at the June 11th, 2025 hearing, and that the court grant any and all other relief that is deemed necessary. Okay? So, I said that, and I wanted to read that because the court document states that the payments ain't being paid. Simon has not paid anything. He hasn't. What? She's struggling. She got to pay the light bill, the water bill, the gas bill, the electric, everything, including the maintenance. Unless she can get Bubba or somebody, little Johnny, from way, somewhere to come do the grass for, maybe 50, 60 bucks. Other than that, she has to pay. Not only that, she has to pay the mortgage. But what we learned in the previous court documents is that Porsha don't even know who the mortgage company is, which is crazy that you would live there and don't even know the mortgage company's name. It just goes to show that it's air in her brains because, listen, even if I don't pay it, I need to know who it is and let me see a statement or something because I need to know that it's being paid. Because, listen, if the folks going to come put me out, I at least need to know, as to when I need to have my shit together so that I can be ready to leave, So, in closing, bad news for Porsha. She's in a bad situation, but I can honestly say I don't feel sorry for her because when you're a gold digging hoe and this is what you set out to do, you want to, seduce men, you want to mess with people's husbands, make jokes about other people's husbands. I feel like you reap what you sow. I do not feel sorry for her. You've been there for over a year. I feel like she can probably get a property that is reasonable within her price range. But I feel like she may just want to compete with people like Shamea. She can very well maybe afford $1 million house. I mean, girl, get you $1 million house and be done with it, or move back in your house, fix it up, update it, have your mama move in a house that she can afford, because why is your mother living there? It's just her. She can get her a nice condo, but it is what it is. Porsha don't got the money for this house, and as they, it's said in the court documents, Simon is not paying any of the court ordered obligations. Now, this is what the court document says, my dolls. So this is not anything that I'm making up, but now it is now in the court documents. Now, of course, I told y'all before it was even a part of the court documents, but now it is actually in the court documents that he ain't paying. And he ain't. And Porsha, just bad news.
She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the pod. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.